Good afternoon. Muscle Car Corner here, Big Daddy's Mopars with Big Daddy show. I'm talking to Paul Harvish Chaplin. He owns this 70 A12 Superbird, and muscle cars go way back in his career. So, Paul, very nice to meet you. Second time last year.
Amen.
We couldn't get that, unfortunately, but we're here to do it again. And let's talk about your first muscle car and how God came into your life involved with muscle cars.
Okay. Well, my first car was a 69 440 CUDA. It was an M code. Didn't know it back then. Nobody really cared.
Wow.
And as you can imagine, 16-year-old, that kind of became the God of my life. Street raced it horrendously. Didn't get beat very often, in fact, twice in 3 years. And at some point, that car became a God in my life until God took it away from me for a while. My mother actually blew the engine in the car.
What?
And we're not paid to fix it. I had to earn the money myself. And during that time, God started getting my priorities right. But I kept that car for, till 1983. And went through a lot of stuff with the car. I converted from automatic to a 4-speed at some point.
Nice.
Fun to drive. Then the current owner, Norm Verhaeg of the Barracuda CUDA Owner Association, has that car. Of course,
Still.
it's back automatic now, like it should be. But I had to sell it to buy the Superbird. And I've never had a car that is so outrageous where people will come to me to look at the car.
Of course.
But as a Christian, as a pastor, gives me an opportunity to talk to them about the Lord Jesus Christ as their Savior. So it works out pretty well. So I've had this car since 1983, which is about 42 years.
Unreal. So God's first in your life, and then Mopars are second, or is the wife second?
Well, I would say Mopars are probably fourth.
Fourth.
My wife and family certainly would be second place. My church, my Christian family, I understand that. No problem. I love it. Appreciate the question. I get a chance to answer.
Heck yeah.
My Christian family, and then this has been so used of the Lord. There are probably 8 or 10 families in our church. The first contact was this car.
Really?
Again, I try to keep my priorities right. I like the cars. I like the mechanics of it. We have exercised this car, if I can use that terminology. We've gone stupid fast in it. Back when I was younger, we've clocked it at the 170 mile an hour area now.
Holy cow.
Unless you think that I'm stretching it, we've got a 276 gear under this.
Really?
They never came with those. That's the only change we've made in this car. And we had a closed 4-lane highway near my house in Hickson, Tennessee, that had straightaways long enough to where we couldn't get the absolute top end because it literally ended.
Sure.
But in the timed 1 mile, we would go 100 miles an hour. At the first mile marker, we'd drop the hammer. We'd accelerate the next 2 miles, but we'd start the stopwatch at the second mile.
Okay.
Then we had to be on the brakes because the road literally ended.
Wow.
And we never averaged in that mile, averaged under 140. And the way it was pulling, the tack and all that, it looked like we were doing somewhere around 170 miles an hour at the end. And it's still pulling.
Unbelievable.
So these cars they do what they were supposed to do. But you say, well, they can't do that. With the original gearing, they can't. But that was on purpose also.
Well, what gear came in this car? What did you take out of it?
Well, it didn't have
an 8 3/4 rear under it?
It still has an 8 3/4 inch rear end.
355.
That's what they all came with.
Yeah.
They were supposed to keep them under 140 miles an hour or the Fed would not certificate them.
I see.
So Chrysler put that rear end or lower in them. Mine had the wrong anyway, so I figured go for the gold. So I found a 276 out of a station wagon, and that's been in the car for about 40 years.
That's neat.
Yeah.
And it's a torque flight car.
It is a 727 torque flight. The only options on the car are the 6-barrel motor, technically the AM radio, and the rallies.
Rallies.
Or road wheels. But no, these are rallies.
And you put a ton of miles on this car.
I have. It had 41,000 miles on it when I bought it. It has 107,000 miles on it now.
My gosh, that is just cool. And so do you drive this when you go to your church?
I often do. I don't drive as much as I like to. The car runs great, but people around me a lot of times don't, and it kind of traffic scares me.
Yeah, it does.
This car stops very nicely for a 70-year-old car.
Of course.
But it doesn't stop with the new ones. And people will pull out in front of you and stop, or they won't watch the door when you pull over. So the car runs great. When I'm on the highway, I love driving the car. Around town, the traffic scares me.
Highway, you're just getting thumbs up everywhere, aren't you?
you drive the car to feed your ego. I'll be the first to admit it. I've got some more outlandish cars that I own, but this is the one that just is pure ego. It really is.
Well, we talked about some of your other cars, and we'll get into that later. I'm going to be leaving Florida and heading to North Carolina here this year yet, but I want to come back down and let's go over the other cars
Sure.
that you have.
That'd be great.
So super cool on your first car, and then you've had this car for how many years now?
Bought it in '83, so it'd be about 42 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's go over the car a little bit itself.
Okay.
It is a original 6-pack.
It's an original 6-barrel car.
Wow.
And it is a matching numbers motor.
So I didn't know they made a A12 Superbird.
Yeah. Now, okay.
Now you're getting into brass tacks on that.
Well, the confusion is A12 in '69 meant something different than it meant in '70.
Yes.
In '69, they were the lift-off hood cars for Super Bs and Roadrunners.
Yes, sir.
In '70, A12 was a Superbird code.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
You know, when I walked up and I looked at that, I'm like, man, I have never seen an A12
Yeah.
Superbird. You know.
Yep. All the Superbirds are A12s. They had 3 engine options: the 444 barrel, 446 barrel, and Hemi.
Yep.
And they actually made a lot of 446 barrels. I think 716.
And how was the motor ever out of this car?
Mm-hmm. At 100,000 miles, I pulled the motor out just to refresh it, see if there's anything wrong with it. And it had low oil pressure. I found out that the oil pickup tube had loosened. That's all.
Really?
But I went ahead and freshened the motor up. So
Did you bump up the cam on it? Just a little tad?
Yeah, it's basically the stock cam.
Gotcha.
Back as what happened to a lot of flat tap and hydraulic cams. It wiped out a couple of lobes about 20 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And I put a crane cam in it, which was almost stock. It may have a couple of degrees more duration, but still not much.
Yeah.
You can't hear it. That's how much it is.
A 509 purple camshaft would have just been perfect for this car. But that's just me. When I go
not with
through
the
them,
gear. Now I love my Sox Martin Hemi Barracuda. The cam's almost 700 lift, which is mild for that car.
Yes.
But this one I want to be drivable. That's why it's exhaust manifolds, factory stock exhaust, original carburetors, electronic ignition we've changed, but everybody does that. But
you know, all the original paints up under.
It has been repainted.
The inside, though, I mean, talking about the core support, you can see the original patina and everything there. Yeah. You know, you did a paint job on it. How long ago was it painted?
Over 30 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, this color changes as you know, on time and in the sun. You know, it does change color a little bit.
But the neat thing is, I store it inside, so it doesn't get the sun very often.
Not very often at all, huh?
So. But that's my.
This is your A-bomb.
My Hemi Barracuda.
Well.
Or is that the 440?
No.
Yeah, that's the BO20. That's the Hemi.
I did not know you had that. I just came back from U.S. Nationals for a week, and I was shooting for Sox and Martin.
Yeah.
And Herb McCandless and all them, and Dodge Garage.
Yeah.
And my friend owns the original mule that I just talked to him a little bit ago, and it's for sale, and he is willing to take some cars in on trade and some cash, but you know, that's a big time car. I know you know the car that I'm talking about. I actually
do.
All my videos, I've got probably 100 videos on my YouTube channel on it. So the car is going, I talked to him this morning, as a matter of fact. The car is going to Lingenfelter Museum up in Michigan where he's at. And he's going to try to get rid of it there, you know, and the bottom's fallen out on muscle cars tremendously this year and part of last year. So I told him, I said, you better just hold off on it for a little bit. But I got to get and see this BO29 you got, you know, and we can get that one on as well. Okay. You know, I'm very familiar with that, being around that. We took that car to Mecum Indy, and it was at the wrong time. It was at the end of the auction. There was nobody hardly left in the stands. We ran that thing through. It was a great experience, but they just screwed the thing up from top to bottom, you know, which was terrible.
Well, there's another very significant car here that most people are going to miss. There's a blue Belvedere down there.
Yeah.
That's a real RO car.
Is it?
I've known that car for over 30 years.
Oh, okay.
And
well, I'll have to get a look at that.
That is,
they're rare.
Basically, that's a barn find.
Really?
That had been snuggled away in a barn for probably 30 years.
Neat,
And
neat.
my buddy who owned it owned a number of things like that, and he died. And he bought it from his estate along with everything else he had. But that is a real RO 23.
RO23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And very,
They only made a handful of those cars, you know.
Yeah,
that was the start of factory super stock cars.
Yeah, well,
the car you have, that
the
was
A990, back in '64.
Yeah.
But that, like I said, that's a real one.
Matter of fact, we talked about A990. I just talked to Butch Leo a little bit ago, and we're going to Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals. I was there last year and did an interview with him. Check that interview out when you get a chance. It's a great interview. And so anyway, he called me. He says, "You gonna be there?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm bringing my A990 car. It's for sale."
Oh.
And he says, "I want you to do a video on it. We're going to do a video like we did on my California Flash car." I was like, "Great, man. I'll be there, buddy." You know, he's a super neat guy. Car. Paul Rossi was there as well with the 446 car. And check out both of those interviews. You'll like both of them.
That Challenger, you talk about a
history,
a stealth car.
Oh my gosh.
The stuff he did to that, just amazing.
To get the torque. We talked about the exhaust, the 18-inch, what that did torque-wise. And that made so much torque. The right pillar, one year he was going in the Nationals and it broke the weld that's right here on the pillar.
In my M code?
They didn't have the roll bar welded to it.
Gotcha.
So he made it implemented that it had to be welded, and that's something that Paul Rossi did with an HRA.
My 69 440 CUDA, but it was so bad, shut the door, and you could basically work your fingers between the A-pillar and the door and between the A-pillar and the car. It just
if you don't tie those stringers together, it'll twist them up.
So every car I've got now is suffering connected, you know.
Well, let's look at the interior, man. You talking about a Superbird that's been driven. Man, this is just...
Yeah, and a lot of it's original. The seat covers, of course, are not.
Gotcha.
Steering wheel is, dash is, door panels are original.
Over 100,000 miles you put on it. I was at the Wing Warrior reunion this last year, and there's a guy that had a Superbird Limelight, 178,000 miles he put on that thing.
Isn't that great?
And he still has it, and he's giving it to his son. Super good. Look at that video also. You'll like the Wing Warrior. I was with them for 4 days at Atlanta, Talladega, and Tim Wellborn's museum.
Wellborn's place,
and we did that whole crew there. I got lucky on getting that because my buddy was sick, and I got the chance to do the videos for him. So this car is just super cool. And, you know, I want to see your other cars, and me and you need to you know, get some more videos going. Look at the inside of this trunk, how original it is. Original paint.
And I didn't clean it up. Sorry about that.
It doesn't matter. You know, that originality. I like looking at what is original on the cars, you know. That's just simply fantastic. A couple little door dingers on it.
Yeah, and I got my little moth back here. It's been there for about 40 years, and we're going to leave him there.
Oh, my gosh. That's funny. That's good luck. Then you got a ladybug right there as well.
That's a new one. We're going to get rid of her probably.
She's going?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you don't know. Man.
You really don't.
Ladybug might bring some good luck.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what. So let's talk about how God came into your life with this car. Sure. And that's something that I want to hear.
Okay.
Because I'm a God-fearing man myself. God first.
I found out a long time ago, going to car shows, pulling out a chair, sitting down is pretty boring. And it really doesn't have a purpose other than feeding your own ego.
Yeah.
And that gets old fast. But I found out that if there's a bigger and better reason for it, it never gets old.
It's true.
And so I always have gospel tracts with me. I always try to get the conversation around the Lord and our need for the gospel. And for instance, people come to me and say, "Is this my car?" And my normal answer is, "No, it's God's, but He lets me drive it."
I love that.
And that's not a joke. I don't know, you know, you've heard, we're caretakers. They're going to last longer than we are.
Of course.
But beyond that, what I have is a gift from God, no matter what it is. It was my family, my home, my pastor, whatever. It is a gift God gives me. I'm a custodian, and I've got to honor Him with it.
Yeah.
And this car, more than any other car I've got, folks will come to me and give me a chance to talk to them about my Lord Jesus Christ, my walk with the Lord. sometimes how I've stumbled, as we all do, but
of
how
course.
God always welcomes us back. And so there have been certainly hundreds of tracts and people I've given out and people I've talked to about the Lord, strictly because I drove this car somewhere, parked it, and somebody came and want to talk about the car, but I want to talk about the Lord.
That is awesome.
Works out real well.
So this car is doing the work for the Lord.
Doing God's work.
As well.
Amen.
And how often does that happen? You know, it's such an odd combination.
Well,
you're probably one of a handful of chaplains that is driving a Superbird. Maybe the only one. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, as far as
if there is
Superbirds go, you may be
anybody
right.
in YouTube land that knows a chaplain is driving a Superbird, please message me on my YouTube channel, because I want to hear about it, because I want to know if Paul is one of one.
Well, God keeps telling me I'm one of one, but maybe for a wrong reason. I don't know. But that's one reason. I enjoy the power of the cars, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But each car I have is very striking. My 440 CUDA is a copy of, the paint scheme is a copy of a 69 Charger pair that I saw when I was a teenager, yellow with red interior, red stripe.
Okay.
Well, you can't drive that car somewhere without something seeing, because and it's Chrysler colors, it's not gaudy, it's very classy.
Exactly.
So people come to that. Of course, the Sox and Martin car, red, white, and blue with decals and all that, they have to stop on that one. But I like to have cars that give me a chance to approach people, because a lot of Christians don't talk to people about the Lord. They don't know how to start it, the conversation.
Of course.
I'm driving a conversation starter.
Well, you are.
And so as a coward and as a very, very timid person, it really helps me out.
Man, I'll tell you what, you know, we did an interview, and let's pray to the Lord that this microphones work properly this time.
Amen.
And we did it without mics last time. And I was so upset that I wasn't able to capture that video and put it out. I put it out for a short time. I didn't like the quality of it. And I said, well, I know he'll be here next year. So here we are.
There you go.
You know, the next year, and I'm getting the interview and getting an unbelievable story that I think a lot of Christians will resonate with them. And it makes you a special person and a rare person.
Got a special God.
Well, you know, I will agree with that. And I'm so glad that I'm here talking to you today and us doing this. So our next venture is going to be, is it a real Sox and Martin car? It's a clone.
Nobody in my neighborhood can afford a real one.
I gotcha.
Now, neat story behind this one. I had two guys from their original team help me build it.
Really?
Yeah, so we got it so right.
Jake King?
Not Jake. I've got some of the stuff they gave me that they let me keep, but they were in the crew. One of them, his job was checking the tack at the end of the run and clearing it so nobody else would see. He told me that Ronnie's shift point was 10-5. I said, I'd heard that. He said, that's exactly what it was. His job was to check it, record it, and clear it so nobody else would see it.
Wow.
And then another one was in the pits as far as tire changing and axles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they weren't the actual builder of the car, builder of the engine. They probably were involved in building the car, but they helped me out with a lot of the weird details about that car.
Really?
Well, one is it's red, white, and blue, but not one of those colors are Chrysler colors.
Did not know that.
They're Ford.
Huh.
Ford blue, Ford white, Ford.
Wow.
Now, when I did mine, I did it Chrysler white, B5 blue, and R4 red.
Okay.
But
unique.
They said technically that's not what they did.
Yeah.
And of course, Jake King's Hemis were always blue. They were never orange. And that's why you pop the hood in that car and it's got a blue Hemi in it.
Did not know that either.
So a lot of
neat stuff coming out.
Details I learned as we were building it. And it's very accurate. I was at this show a number of years ago and had the car here parked in one of these lanes. And a guy was so sure that that was a car that outran him in 1969 or so. He not only would not believe me, he wanted to fight me.
What?
He said, that's the car. I said, no, it wasn't. He said, that's the car. And he said, look, and he got angry. So well, I built it in 92, so I know it wasn't there in 69. But that's how close we got.
Wow.
And I love it. It's had a Hemi in it almost from day one.
And what's in the Hemi? Is it period correct for that car?
Yeah, exterior wise, it would be. It's Mopar Performance block,
gotcha.
Eagle rotating assembly. It's got the modern cross ram, which means it's not the one piece like the original was.
Yeah.
But it's got cross ram with two Hollies, original Hollies. We built it to be as close to the original as we could. with certain concessions. It sits a lot. So I want to put an oil accumulator on it so I don't have any dry starts.
Gotcha.
That's on there. Other than that, and the electronic ignition.
What's the compression on it?
Well, we got a new Hemi in it now, and it's 13-to-1.
Oh, nice.
And
That'll pop.
Oh yeah, and it's got the Indy Hypo Hemi heads on
Ooh.
it. And we haven't had a dyno yet, but in the changes we made for the other engine that was dynoed, it should be in the 900 horsepower area. We'll get a dyno at some point.
Did you ever ask Big for a Hemi?
He helped me get that in there.
Did he?
I was having all kinds of problems getting it to fit in the A body, especially where the exhaust, the headers were just nuts.
You got to modify the towers and everything on that.
Well, the passenger side.
The passenger side, that's right.
You have to move the master cylinder over on the driver's side. You've got to, well, the factory used a sledgehammer. I couldn't bring myself to do that. So we cut and welded and got a nice little contour there. But we got it in, but the exhaust was terribly difficult.
Yeah.
And I came up and he was so gracious. I met him at his front door, introduced myself, said, here's what I've got. He said, let me talk to you. And probably half an hour. And it was very, very helpful.
I bet.
We got the exhaust in, and it just.
Well, you know, it's funny. It was one of my last projects I wanted to do. I wanted to do a 70 Soxa Martin Hemi Cuda clone.
Yep.
And so I was in here, we did an interview, and I said, Big, I want to build a Soxa Martin Hemi clone, and I said, I'd rather put one of your motors in it. And I said, would you sell me one? He laughed. He said, you don't have enough money to buy one of my Hemis, boy. And I said, well, I probably don't, but, you know, I just thought it'd be neat to have one of Don Garlich's engines in a Soxa Martin clone car.
The problem is he builds them for blowers, and they don't work.
They don't.
On carburetors.
Of course. But he can, and he's got motors more than anybody's got. He doesn't sell anything, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, this is a great deal, and I want to definitely get your number again so we can go ahead and get together on this.
Definitely.
Before I go, I'll come over on a day when you got an hour or so to spend, and we'll come over and go over those.
That would be super.
I'm just so glad I caught this interview and got a chance to talk with you again. And we're going to keep more in touch. I'm gonna keep you on my speed dial so we can talk about Mopars a little bit more.
Excellent.
And
I enjoyed this.
Sure appreciate it, Paul.
Thank you,
Chaplin, and I just think you're the bomb.
We've got a God who's worth more than I could ever give him.
I got you.
Yeah.
Muscle Car Corner sign out. God first. You heard it here. Chaplin with a Superbird. Probably one of the coolest interviews ever. Muscle Car Corner sign out. Thank you so much.